you'll be asked to explain certain phenomena through particles, through kinetic theory, mainly evaporation, condensation, conduction and convection. Convection will get a video all of its own, but we'll go through each of these now, the other ones. Right, evaporation. In evaporation you have a liquid turns into a gas. Of course, solids, liquids and gases are all made of the same particles. It's how the particles are arranged and what they're doing that determines whether they're solid, liquid or gas. In this case, the liquid particles are moving around, and if you notice, some of the particles got more energy than the others. And these high energy particles, the fastest moving ones, can escape, and therefore slower ones are left behind. So the average speed of the particles has decreased. This means the average kinetic energy of the particles in the liquid is less, and therefore it is cooler. How can we increase evaporation? Well, we can do this by causing the temperature to rise, and if of course the temperature rise will give more energy to the particles and therefore more can escape. If we increase the surface area, particles are able to escape more readily because they've taken heat energy from around and they get hit by other particles in the air that therefore cause the particles in the liquid to gain energy and escape. Or if you blow over the liquid, the same thing's happening. When you blow over it, you are actually giving it a bit of energy, the particles in the liquid, and they're able to escape as a result of that. In condensation, what happens there is you have particles moving around very, very quickly in a gaseous state. And when they hit a cold window or perhaps a cold mirror, what will happen is they lose their energy. And if they lose their energy, they turn into a liquid phase and form condensation or water droplets on the cold surface. In the process of doing so, of course, because they've lost energy, the cold window actually warms up. We can cause things to condense faster by cooling things quicker, and the more particles you have, the faster the condensation is as well. Solids. Right, in solids, we're looking at conduction here, and solids, as you know, are arranged in a lattice formation, a regular shape, and the particles there vibrate. And if you heat one end of these particles, they can knock into the particle next to them, and that knocks into the next one, knocks into the next one, and so forth. A bit like Chinese whispers. The particles knock into each other. It is actually quite a slow process because you've got billions of particles in a solid. But essentially what's happened is the vibration is passed along, and we talk about lattice vibration. The whole structure is vibrating, and the heat is travelling from left to right. Now that's what tends to happen in insulators. In metals, you've got these extra things called electrons, and these electrons can move a lot quicker through the metal and take the energy from one end to the other. Now, when it comes to the exam, you're going to have to explain that the atoms themselves are known as metal ions. They've got a positive charge, and these metal ions are vibrating, and they are in a sea of free electrons that can move around freely. And you need to say that it's the free electrons that carry the heat energy the quickest, and they can pass this on to metal ions. Lattice vibration is just too slow a process to send the heat through quickly, but it does contribute. But metals are particularly good conductors of heat. And of course, there'll be a video on convection all by itself. Anyway, that is kinetic theory explaining a number of phenomena.